Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Circle City. Hope you guys are having a good day. Gotta love the thunderstorms that always happen here. Man, that's a lot of lightning strikes. Well, anyway, if you notice behind me, I've had yet another frog evaporate on me. I'm not really sure what's happening to them and why they keep disappearing. Because, one time I had 3 of them. And, let's just go sleep and get this over with. Okay, so as I was trying to say, at one time I had 3 froggies in here. And then suddenly there were 2, and I thought maybe it was just my imagination that I really only did have 2, but now I'm down to 1. So we can't have just like one lonely little frog, because that's no fun. So we're gonna head out and try to get another frog. And we're also gonna maybe look for a dog and also scout around a little bit to see if we can't find a firefly bush anywhere. And I did kind of look around a little bit for a firefly bush, but I didn't really have any luck in finding one. So if we can't find one, that means that we'll probably have to resort to villager trading. I'm not sure if they trade for firefly bushes, but we'll kind of see. And also, this chest is quite full. So after we do our exploring, we're going to build a couple little shops. One of them to hold all of our green things here. And the other one, a little tiny purple shop. But, let's see, what else did I want? Got the bone meal. I got the bones, I got the lead. I need some slime. And I need to find where I left my travel bed, because, don't think it's in here. No. I think I know where it is. We'll go and collect that in a minute. So I think I left my bed out here because I was doing a lot more work. Yes, there it is. And I think I've almost got this about where I want it to be in order for us to add our river, but I did want to just take one more good look at it to make sure that this is kind of how I want it and I don't want to modify more of it. Of course, I still need to come back and do like a bunch of, a little bit of detailing and stuff. This will be kind of where the river is, and I'll have to dig that down a little bit deeper before we add water. And this little spot here is where the other waterfall is going to come down into. And this is the part where I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't, flatten this or, level this out a little bit more up in here. But I'll decide all that later. Okay, we are good on time, so let's head over to our swamp. I thought I made a little bridge around here somewhere last time I collected my frogs. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So, let's just look around a little bit and see if we have any frogs spawning anywhere. Anywhere, froggy frogs. Oh, there's a frog. Hooray. Hi, you want to be my friend? Awesome. Alright, come with me, buddy. I can tell you a little bit about what's been going on. So yeah, for like the past 2 weeks, I've been having like a severe energy crisis. Gotta have some ideas of what's going on, but it's not really a huge deal. It's just like every day I wake up. Where was my bridge? Over there. Anyway, so every day I wake up and I say to myself, oh, tonight I'm gonna go home and record some Minecraft and record my Minecraft episode. And then every day I come home and I sit down and I just don't want to get up again. So, oh, you do swim. That's kind of cool. I wasn't sure if they would swim on a lead or not, but that's good to know. So anyway, I'm kind of hoping that that's going to sort itself out here pretty soon. It's not really going to be a problem for too much longer. But I thought I would just take advantage of the energy I have today on the weekend, and hopefully I don't, crash down again. So what I think is going on with that is that I do have Hashimoto's, which is a autoimmune thyroid disease. It's not really a huge problem for me, but it just means that like my biggest struggle has always been like my energy levels. And so sometimes it can just be like a little bit rough on that. And then if it gets like really bad, then I just go and get my blood levels checked. And then if my doctor feels like I need to have my to have my meds adjusted, then they just adjust them. And it's not like a huge deal. And like I said, I haven't really had any big problems with that for quite a long time. Come on, Froggy. Can they fit through the door, or do I have to pull down the door? I can't remember. I guess we'll find out in just a second. Come on, Froggy Frog. Can you make it through? Yeah. That's great. Alright. Come on. Unleash. Okay, and then I suppose that I'll go ahead and breed them. Although I don't want like a ton of frogs, but maybe it's best just to have, okay, just have a few more than 2 just in case they start evaporating again. Alright. So we are good on our frogs. Let's go out to this beautiful side. Is this the cave that I wanted to collapse? I don't remember. Or is one of these caves that had like a bunch of gravel in it, and all I needed to do was collapse it to kind of seal it up? It might have been that one. Oh, I'm gonna get lost in this forest. Let's go up this way. So are the firefly bushes, are they limited to like birch wood, or do they grow around the oak as well? Because we got kind of a mixture here of birch and oak. And one thing that I am cool. One thing that I'm really happy about in this last update, where they put all of our dried leaves and all of that in, is that they updated the biomes that already existed, like near your world. So that makes it a lot easier than having to go out and explore and find like another birchwood forest somewhere that you haven't been to before. So I'm really happy that they did that. And I would kind of wish that they would do a little bit more of that sort of thing, but I understand that with some updates it's just not going to work that way. But I'm really glad that they were able to. Oh, I think I acquired one of these bushes somewhere. They're really cool. Yeah, I think I did when I was clearing out the land on the other side. That's a lovely tree there. Oh, let's just keep walking around the edges here. And I still don't hear any dogs. No barky barks. We got some of those lovely flowers here. And I collected those the last time that I came through. Circle City looks kind of funny from a distance with the the floating dark room. It kind of looks like it's getting attacked by aliens. But, you know, eventually we'll have another tier up there that's going to cover that up, so it won't always look that ridiculous. Yeah, I'm getting no love from the wolves or the firefly bushes. Oh, wait. Oh. There they are. Sweet. Oh, on this nice little pretty little island out here. This is a lot closer than I thought it was. I went all the way around. So let's get a little bit of bone meal going. Because I'm pretty sure we can just get extras by bone mealing these. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't realize it. I thought it would just like pop out new ones. The way it does like when you do flowers. So which one is my silk touch? So I think we can just, yeah, all right, cool. So let's just get a couple of these going because I don't really need to have like a whole lot on hand. Silk touch. Okay, so that's really cool. So let's go back across. Well, actually, let's go around this way because there's still a chance that we can get ourselves a wolf if they ever feel like spawning. They fell in the water. Man, look at this place. That's crazy. I don't know why it's such a problem getting wolves to spawn. I mean, it's not like they're rare or anything. Maybe I just have too many other animals in this area currently. So let's go out the other way. See if we can't get some. Oh, the Endermen have a great time here. Like everywhere I go, man, there's just holes like this that I see everywhere from Endermen picking up blocks. It's crazy. Alright, so let's go down to this birchwood forest down there and see if we can't get any wolves to spawn in there. And watch out for, you know, impending doom along the way. You don't really want to fall in any holes like that. Ugh. Bark, bark. Bark, bark, I have bones. You know how it is when you're just kind of running around places and everything is there and you don't really want it at that moment, but then you come back to try to get it and you either cannot find it or it just doesn't happen. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm feeling right now. Oh, I see you. Hi, come here, be my friend. Hi. Can I? Why isn't it letting me feed you? There we go. Aha, hooray. Hi. Alright, follow me home. Where is... Yeah, okay. Let's go. Finally! We have a doggy! Hopefully when I come in here, he can just teleport to me. Let's go in a piece. Yep. Awesome. Alright, buddy. Where do you want to hang out? I mean, maybe right here is fair enough. Okay, so sit. And I'm gonna go get you a name tag. So give me just a second. Okay, and now we have a Buckey. I'm so happy to finally have my Buckey in my world, so let's eat some food. Yeah, and I'm gonna take just a tiny little break and then we'll get to putting up our 2 little shops because I already feel my energy kind of going a little bit sideways, but these projects won't be like too hard, so we'll get them up, you know, pretty quickly. It'll be great. Okay, so I am back. I took a short break and I also collected the rest of the materials that we will be needing to put in our 2 shops. So let's go ahead and get rolling on this. I'm gonna need, oh, of course, I always have to forget something, don't I? But we'll go get that in a minute. For now, we'll just go ahead and get started on this part because I really don't have inventory space right now to get the thing that I forgot. That's okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and those can rot. I don't really need them. I'm gonna do this. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, this shop right here is going to be our purper shop, and it's going to be very, very tiny because I don't really need to have a giant purper shop because it's not like I'm gonna have like a vast need for that. I think that this is, so it's gonna be more like a closet, but it'll be a place to put our purper, and that's what really matters. So this is gonna go, hold on, I'm thinking really hard right now, and it's hard to think. But we'll get there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is gonna be like this sort of thing going on, and then we'll put a torchy in there and a carpet on top of that just so it's not so dark inside here. I don't know, I might not be able to put that there yet. We'll find out. So let's go get what I forgot now that I have a spot for it. Okay, so we're gonna plant 2 chorus flowers there, and what we're wanting them to do is to just grow up, and hopefully they will grow up straight. That's why I think that this carpet might be a problem right now. So I'm gonna take it out just because I don't want to waste all that time like waiting. So yeah, so that could literally go sideways on me, and it might take me a few times to get them to grow the way that I want them to, but in the meantime we will take care of this side. So, which means that my poor bed has to move. You know, I don't know where to put it. I'm just gonna put you there for a minute. All right. Okay. So next up, we'll start working on our other shop so that that has some time to grow up. And where am I starting this? Those are pillars on the side. All right. Okay, focus. Okay, so 1, 2 there. And then I want a splotch of 1, 2, 3 here. And then we're gonna go 1, 2 there. Yeah, I think that's about right. And then this will go across here, connect there. And then I didn't get any scaffolding. Oh well. Well, I guess using wool as scaffolding isn't a horrible idea. It's not like I don't have a lot of it. Wasn't really my beginning plan, but we'll just go along with it. It'll be great. Want to get the boundaries of this set up real quick. Why? Go out. Thank you. Okay. So I got my boundaries set up, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the floor in here so that we have places to be. So we're just gonna do a diorite around the bottom of this, and then in the center here we're just gonna do a real simple little pattern. It's just going to be something like this. Hooray. Except for I need something fake down there. Okay. There we go. And that's that. So now we can, now that we have all that established, let me go ahead and put one of these guys there just for now. Give us a little bit more light. And so I can tell you a little bit about Bucky while I do this, and just so you know who Bucky is. Bucky is the first dog that we ever owned as a family. My mother got him, I think, from a neighbor or something. I'm not really sure exactly where she got him from, to tell you the truth. But we got him when I was 3 years old, and turns out he was also 3 years old. In fact, his birthday was exactly 1 week before my birthday. So even though we got a dog, turns out I was still the youngest person in the family. Even the dog was still older than I was. But anyway. And so Bucky was a Sheltie, which is a miniature collie. So think about a tiny dog that looks like Lassie. And he sure was mighty cute. And of course I was enamored with him the moment my mother brought him home and showed him to us. And he was very, very well trained. I think that the people that originally owned him was hoping that he would be a show dog or something, because his original name was Buccaneer Lord of Eden. which is an absolutely ridiculous name for a dog. So, Bucky he became. Rightly so. So since he was so well trained, there wasn't a whole lot of things that we had to kind of do to get him adjusted to our family and whatnot. He was already like great with kids. He was already, trained to bark when he needed to go outside and all of that good stuff. And he also knew a whole lot of tricks like rolling over and speaking. So when you said, "Bucky, speak," he would bark at you. He could shake paws, and he would also howl with you when you howled with him. And that was quite a fun thing about him, because my mother used to play guitar, and she was in like our church group, and so a lot of times we would kind of get together out on the back deck or whatever, and she was either practicing her guitar or she was just singing for the fun of it. And whenever she started singing, then Bucky would also start howling along with her. So it was really, really cute. Oh, I did one too many of those. But needless to say, Bucky was kind of like another sibling for me. I really enjoyed having him, never took him for granted. And he was just a really, really good addition to our family. So one of the things that he really, really liked doing was when we went to my grandparents had a very big field in their backyard. And they also lived next to an airport. I mean, they had built the house before the airport went in. But there was kind of like, how do I explain this? There was like a runway that was kind of like in line with the side of their house. So, I mean, no, there wasn't like the cement runway, like right next to their house or anything stupid like that. But the planes would fly like right next to their house in order to line themselves up with the runway that they were going to land on. Huh. I hope that makes sense. But they had a nice big porch on the side of their house. And Bucky loved to hang out on that porch for two reasons. So the first one is he liked to bark at the cars as they were driving down the road. And the other one is he would love to wait for those airplanes to come in. And whenever they flew beside the house, well, he would go running down the porch, and he would run all the way back to the back of the field as far as he could possibly go chasing that airplane. And it was so funny. Like every time there was a plane that come by, he would just like, and it just go nuts and go after that. And go all the way back to the end of the field, and then he would start trotting all the way back. I forgot, well, I didn't really forget, but I just didn't make him yet, the chest for this one too. Okay, let me focus. Oh, let's drats. So this one will work for us, this one will not. So let's go ahead and get rid of this while we're at it. Yeah, drats. Okay. So, that's not what I wanted you to do. I I need to be up here for that. Okay, there we are. So, another thing that was pretty interesting about him was that in all of the places that we ever lived, we never really had to show him the barriers of the yard. Like, for some reason, he just kind of always knew where the barriers of the yard was, where he could go, and where he couldn't go. So, I don't know, I just always kind of thought that was a little bit interesting for a dog to have just like a basic instinct of what his barriers were. Oh, I should have grabbed some bone meal so I could make that grow down. Anyway. So probably let me go grab some bone meal just because that's going to irritate me until that grows down. And so probably the funniest story that I could tell you about Bucky involves him and our rabbits. So my neighbor at our first house used to raise rabbits. And of course, being kids, we were, you know, really fascinated by rabbits. And so we were actually allowed to take some rabbits and have them as pets. We were supposed to acquire either 2 boys or 2 girls. But turns out we ended up having a boy and a girl. And we kept them in our backyard. My dad had made him a cage for them to stay in. And so, of course, rabbits do what rabbits do. And they ended up having babies. And baby rabbits were super duper cute, of course. And a lot of times, if it was nice outside, we would, you know, take them all out of the cages and let them run around in the yard a little bit, you know, while we were watching it. Oh, this is gonna be a thing, isn't it? Man, I just want you to grow up straight. Darn it. I don't know if this works. I don't know if I can just, you know, plop it back on top of there and see if it works. Let's see what happens. Maybe we'll get lucky. Because I really want to get going with this. We can start doing a bit of the back wall, I suppose. I just can't build, like... Ah, thank you. Thank you. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Okay, and now I can put my white carpet back on there so we don't fall down the hole. Okay, so now we should be okay to build around these since they are grown and we don't have to worry about them breaking. Because if you have like a flower, like if you have the flower on top of this and you put like a block right next to it, it will break the flower and also this block that's underneath it. So you don't really want to have that happening on you. So anyway, back to Bucky and the rabbits while we finish up this quick build. So like I said, so if it was a nice day outside, we would often, you know, take the rabbits out of their cages and let them run around a bit. And of course, when we did that, it was very important that, you know, we kept Bucky inside. And of course, this would drive him nuts because there are rabbits out in the yard. And he really wanted to chase those rabbits. And so as it would happen one day, we had the rabbits out with the little with their little bunnies. There was probably, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think how many babies there were. I mean, my dad eventually did take them someplace to get rid of the babies since we couldn't really keep all of them. Um, but I want to say there was probably like 5 or 6 little young ones out there, and I was pretty little at the time, probably like 5 years old at this point. And of course, I wanted to come outside to play with the rabbits myself. And though I was normally pretty good at opening up the sliding door and squeaking out before my dog could, squeak out with me, this time I kind of messed up. And so, even though I was like being super duper careful to, open up the door as little as I possibly could and keep my legs together so that he couldn't squeak between my legs, he kind of somehow managed to squeak through my legs anyway. And of course, I was horrified. So he goes running off the deck, jumps off the deck, goes toward the rabbits, barking like a maniac. And the male rabbit that we had, was my oldest brother's rabbit, and he named it Bandit. And Bandit saw Bucky, and Bucky's like pretty much coming right at him. And Bandit, instead of turning and running, like jumps up probably, I don't know, like 2.5 feet in the air, and then lands facing straight toward my dog. And Bucky just kind of was not expecting that at all. I mean, who would, right? And so Bucky just comes to like a complete halt. And then he turns and starts running. And then Bandit just starts running after him. And oh my gosh, man, we were just laughing so hard. Because, like, what kind of dog is just like afraid of a rabbit? Anyway, of course, when we were all done laughing, we had to, run and chase and try to, get him and save him from the rabbit as opposed to saving the rabbit from the dog. But that was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen, I swear. Oh my gosh, a dog being chased by a rabbit. Good show. Let's see, there's another fun story that I can tell about him while we finish this up, and that's about another time that we were at my grandparents' house with Bucky. And I mean, Bucky really was like my mom's dog. Like, he loved my mom. He stayed by her all the time. He which is very, very attached to her. And so we were at my grandparents for the weekend, and my mother and I shared a bed in the upstairs room, and they had this mirror that I think it was off of a dresser or something. For some reason, they and just had this mirror like leaning up against a wall. So we had gone to bed, and we woke up in the morning, and Bucky was in the room with us like all night. And for some reason, he didn't really notice this mirror until in the morning when we woke up, and my mom and I were just kind of chilling in bed, like talking about, I don't know, whatever we were talking about. And then we noticed Bucky noticing the mirror, and he's like kind of just glaring at himself. I mean, I don't think he's ever really been in contact with a mirror before this point, so he had no idea like what they were and how they worked and all of that. But anyway, so he's sitting there staring at himself, and then like suddenly he starts growling at himself. So he's just like, "Grrr," like looking at himself. My mom and I are sitting in the bed watching him, and we're just chuckling away, man. We're trying to be like real quiet just to see what he'll do. And he eventually gets himself so upset by this, supposedly other dog that's in the room that he shows himself his teeth. And like the instant he shows himself his teeth, man, it was on. And he just like jumps at this mirror and he's just all, "Rah, rah, rah, rah," and, and he smacks against the mirror, of course. Didn't hurt himself or nothing. But then, of course, at that moment, he realizes what it is. And he gets super duper embarrassed and he looks back at us like, "You guys are jerks." And then he starts sneezing. Because he always, like, was sneezing when he got excited. It's something about the collies. I'm pretty sure, like, something about the Shelties, something in their DNA that when they get, like, excited, they just start sneezing. So it was very, very funny. Then the other thing that he would do is just, like, shift his eyes at us a lot when he was upset. Oh, that's not where I want you. Let me see. Oh, that's what I forgot. That is the one thing that I forgot to do about this. I'm supposed to have another flower guy on the inside of this. I was thinking, I'm like, why am I kind of running out of blocks so soon? Yeah, okay, so that's why I'm like freaking out going, did I bring enough blocks? I'm pretty sure I counted everything right this time, maybe. Oh, darn it. So let me get this little guy in here real quick so I don't mess up again. Okay, yes, that looks better. I'm gonna put one of those there. And the last one there. Okay. So, since I still have just a little bit of time, one more little short story about Bucky would be that he hated to be left alone for a very long time. So sometimes when we would go someplace and we would come home, he would retaliate by going through the trash can and taking everything out and spreading it around the house. Of course, whenever he did this, afterward he would get very scared and frightened of us when we came home, and then he would hide underneath the dining room table because he knew he was going to get in trouble. And of course, like all good dogs when they go bad. So it was kind of a pain in the butt whenever he would do that, because we'd all have to, go around and pick up all of his nonsense. And so when my mom and I had moved in with my grandparents, my grandpa got smart to this. And anytime that we would leave for an extended period of time, he would take the trash can and put it on top of the counter and make sure that the bathroom doors were closed so that my dog could not get in to any of the trash cans and spread all the trash across the house. And so I do remember that one time we went to the movies, and it was like a long movie. It was like one of those like epic, like 4-hour long movies or something like that. So we were gone for like, man, it felt like an eternity or something. But we had come home, I think it was nighttime. So it was dark and we couldn't really see anything. And usually Bucky was a dog that would greet you at the door whenever you came home. So this time, instead of greeting us at the door, he was nowhere to be seen yet again. And we were like, oh no, what did you do? And so it turns out my grandparents had a lot of like throw carpets just strewn around in their house. And since Bucky could not get a hold of the trash cans to go through those, he decided that he was just going to mess up all the rugs in the house. So pretty much all of their little throw rugs that they had like all over the place, he had just like balled them all up. And then when we came home, he was like hiding under the table, like all scared and nervous. But man, we were laughing so hard. It was just so funny. I couldn't even be mad at him. He was just like, oh no, I messed up. But no, oh my gosh, all he managed to do was just make us like laugh and laugh and laugh. So, anyway, so here we go. I think, like I said, I think we're pretty well good here. So that is our thank you. So this is going to be like our green shop. So a place to put like our vines and moss and bushes and just kind of anything random that's like green that's not going to be part of, say, our flower cart downstairs. So things that aren't going to make dye but that we can use for decorations wherever. So I should change out this block with an oak block at some point because that is kind of annoying. But for right now, I'm okay with it. So yeah, so our nice little green shop, and then our little closet of a purpur shop. I'm gonna back up. You know, and I think it's adequate. Like I said, I didn't want to make like a super huge shop for purpur since it's not like you're gonna be using a whole ton of purpur. But yeah, so I think it's okay. Yeah, so I'm down with that, and I'm glad to get my little junk chest cleared up a little bit more. Yeah, all my golems are suddenly loving to hang out up here. Not really sure. Maybe they just like the open spaces better. Because I still have... Oh man, there's like 4 of them up here now. How bizarre that they're all just like wandering up here. It's kind of cool. It's maybe, you know, because I still have my furniture shop attendant is still in here having a great time. So that's cool. So I guess we'll just go ahead and wrap up this episode here. And of course, I just want to thank you guys for stopping by, and thanks for hanging out with me and the golems. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.